Ready Steady Freefrommers, welcome to another video. Today we are going to make a cherry, raspberry and coconut slice. Let's get cooking. So in here I have 1 cup of unsweetened desiccated coconut. To this I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of honey, 3 tablespoons of coconut oil and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're going to pop these all in here and combine them. This smells great. So you get a real coconut smell because of the desiccated coconut and the coconut oil, but then you get that lovely vanilla smell as well. So it's quite stodgy, okay, at the moment, and I have done it for quite a while, so it's broken down the shredded coconut somewhat. The next step is the fruit. So the second part of this recipe is we take another cup of unsweetened shredded coconut, desiccated coconut, and we put it in the food processor. The previous one I've set aside in a bowl. Okay, so that's just sitting there waiting to be combined with this one. Then we're going to take 1 cup of frozen cherries, okay, so they're pitted and they're still frozen, and then 1/3 cup of frozen raspberries. And now we need to combine this thoroughly so that it all comes together nicely. So you can see that rich, vibrant, bright cerise colour, really. It's beautiful. It smells very coconutty and cherry-y, if that's a real word. So now we're going to add the other bowl of coconut mixture to it. It's got the oil and the honey and the vanilla, and combine this all together. Okay, so I've had this in the blender and I've also put it in the Vitamix to try and break it down a little bit further. Personally, I don't think you need to have the fruit frozen. I think it probably hinders the process. Shredded coconut can be the gift that just keeps giving, in the fact that you can be eating it all day because it gets stuck in between your teeth and you find those little nuggets of shredded coconut all day. But I don't actually like that, so I've broken it down further. So now we're going to put it into a pan to put in the freezer. So I'm just using a small pan. The recipe suggests a 20cm pan. So I'm just lining it with greaseproof paper or baking parchment, whatever you want to use. So we're going to pack it down nice and firm. Now the size of the pan really is quite negotiable, because depending on how deep you want the slices depends on the size of your pan. So if you want a thin slice, you go for a larger pan, so you're covering a larger surface area. Now I'm going to guess this is about 1/2 inch thick, and so we've patted it down nice and firm so it's quite solid. So we're going to pop it in the freezer for 1 hour to set. If you do use fruit that isn't frozen, because obviously this is cold, so it gives it a bit of a head start. So I'm going to put it in the freezer for 1 hour. If you don't use frozen fruit, I would probably go with 1.5 hours at least. And then you can take it out. Then we'll cut it into the sizes that we want. So we'll just slice it accordingly. Okay, so it's just come out of the freezer. It's been in there just over 1 hour, and I'm now going to slice it up. Just taking it out of the tin purely because it's easier. And you could go any size for these, but I'm going to want them small. So I'm going to try and do them in little squares. It's quite soft. So I think possibly you could go deeper with these. Okay, so let's do the cheeky taste test. Quite crumbly. It's soft, very tasty. Got a lovely zing from the raspberries. It's very fresh. It's a lovely, because it's cold straight out of the freezer, it's very cooling and refreshing. And with the cherries and the raspberries and the coconut, It's lovely summery taste. I thought it would be harder than this, but it's not. It's lovely and soft. The sweetness is perfect. There's a real lovely balance between the coconut and the fruit and the honey. It's a lovely summery snack really. So if you want something that's just nicely sweet, refreshing, and just a nice cool bite of something lovely after a dinner maybe, or just as a hot afternoon snack, then these would do. So like, comment, share, and I will see you next time in the kitchen.